With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K. Welcome to another edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. I'm excited to bring a couple of an awesome designer and an account manager from AVI SPL together to you to show you something that's really cool. First, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the room looks like, because this is not your typical Zoom room. Imagine being tasked with designing a Zoom room that fits over 25 people. Not an easy task. Not just the how do you fit them in and make it work and make it where everybody can be seen and heard, but also how do you actually sell it to the client, because they're buying a vision that they can't ever see, because, by the way, this hasn't been done like this before. So I asked Stephen and Dave, Stephen Mason and Dave Lamb from AVI SPL to come on today to talk about this. And Stephen, actually, I'm going to toss the first question to you. You were the account manager on this. Actually, I found out about this project from your LinkedIn post, and I got really excited about it because, you know, I like these differentiated projects, but in this case, it was beyond sort of even normal. I mean, you know, I know you can't tell who the client is, but what was the directive?
So they, you know, this was part of their new headquarter project that we are working on. And, you know, they had built this vision probably 3-4 years back, you know, with the architect and everything for this boardroom. And the whole idea was creating these, you know, more face-to-face experience for all participants. So you'll see, like, you know, there's motorized screens that flip up from the table that have cameras embedded within them. You know, it's a really funny story. It's been an amazing project to see come to life. You know, when we saw it, we were very like, oh wow, this is going to be challenging. I'm not really sure how to solve for this. There's many things I said to the client at that time, like putting up a lot of, you know, obstacles, but you know, I have to give Dave really the credit. You know, the project couldn't have been done without him. The room couldn't have come to life without him. And I know for me personally, I knew that all along, you know, because I love Dave, but standing in the room when we were completed, I remember saying to myself, I was like, yeah, I couldn't have done this without Dave. So I have to
let's talk about that process a little bit, because obviously the client comes to you and says, we need a meeting room where we can fit, I think it's 27 people around the table, but we also want our remote participants to come in and feel like they're part of the meeting. And that's like that's like the holy grail right now in our industry, Dave, because everybody's wanting to make the remote participants feel like they're in the meeting, but also have the in-person participants still care about the remote participants. I have this sort of saying that prior to the pandemic, that remote participants were treated like the stepchild of the meeting. You know, no one really cared about them because if they weren't that important, if they didn't come to the meeting. But now it's become a normal mantra, right? That you have to make them feel like they're part of the meeting. And I know that AVI SPL has some kind of design service where you virtualize, you know, using VR, show them what the room's going to look like. We actually have some of that video that you actually created to show the client. Dave, talk about the process that you went through.
Yeah, so it's obviously a really tough room to visualize, really difficult to show the client what they're getting, what they're paying for here.
Yeah.
And so and also as a design engineer, really difficult to make decisions on camera angles, how to utilize all the real estate on all these high-end video walls. Our VR design services was a huge help in that category. So we were able to model the room, model all the video walls to all the specifications, test the camera angles, test to make sure they're going to capture the table appropriately and evenly, and be able to show the client exactly what they're paying for here and how this is going to elevate the user experience in the boardroom.
I mean, I'm guessing, Stephen, they're spending, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars ultimately on everything that came together here. Did this make it an easier sell? And could you have done it without this? I mean, obviously, you know, we built systems for many, many years without virtualizing them. But I think it required a different level of relationship, a longer relationship with a client to get a client to buy into spending that amount of money without actually having a vision for what it was going to look like. Is it easier now that you're virtualizing? Can you establish a quicker relationship using this technology because of that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's multiple projects that we've done where that's been true. Where we, a vision, a request was brought to us by the client. We sort of put it through our VR, design services, brought the model to life, and it actually really helped the sales process for everyone involved. Sort of understanding scope, understanding that, oh, maybe I don't want to do projection, and I do want to go, LED and stuff.
And that's key, right? Because they would have normally chosen a projector because of the cost. I mean, like almost everyone would go projector because it just is so expensive to do LED. But by virtualizing this, you're saying that it convinced them that LED was better because they saw the tight, neat design of an LED compared to a projector. Not that a projector doesn't look good. It's just it's a lot more complicated to integrate in a room like this, right, Dave?
Well, yeah,
Steve, whoever.
Yeah, they saw the experience that you get, right?
Yeah.
We're all used to, everyone understands when you go with, projection, you're getting a standard 16:9 format screen or something like that. When we say, hey, we can do a, custom resolution, video wall that really fills up the wall real estate and uses it to your benefit for branding and things like that, then they start to see, the vision and help bring the space to life.
What you created is like a digital canvas in the front of that room that you can put content anywhere rather than thinking about it as a rectangle.
Yeah. The one thing about this particular room was, I guess in our favor, was there was sort of this utopian vision painted by, the design team, like the architect team for this boardroom. They knew the end goal they wanted, right? Was this bringing remote participants into the meeting experience in the room, right? So that there's this immersive experience for all, right? That was crystal clear kind of from day one. It was really more about like, oh, how do we, from a technology perspective, how do we actually make that work, right? Because there were, especially at the time, there were definitely limitations within our industry of how to bring that to life. And so as things progress, as we found solutions and options, plus, using our VR services, the two really helped the whole entire process.
And, Dave, how long did it take for you to do this VR? Like, I mean, is it like, do you need BIM drawings of this for this gear to actually do the sight lines, or did you have to create it from scratch yourself?
So the benefit of this program is you can move fairly quickly in it. There's a lot of limitations, but you're able to quickly get a room together. You can import custom objects, and so we are able to bring in the actual models of the hanging video walls. And
is that from BIM diagrams or from DWGs, or what did you need?
You can do it from CAD. You just got to convert it in Blender. So you can bring in objects basically through the Unreal Engine to do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, so you used a combination of VR, and the Unreal Engine is what ultimately shows them what it's going to look like. That gives you the fly through.
It's all modeled in Unreal, and then you can come in with basically a virtual camera and fly through the room and show different angles, show what it's going to look like from the camera's perspective, show that the microphone and speaker coverage are adequate. It's been an immense help, and even for Stephen and I to visualize what size video wall should this room get, what size and does this aspect ratio make sense for this wall? Does this look good? It helps us as designers make decisions, not just selling things to the client.
And this, Stephen, how long has AVI SPL had this service available?
I would say going on about 1.5 to 2 years.
Yeah. So I guess as a lesson there is if you're an end user and you haven't looked at what we can do now as an industry in the last couple of years, you should take a second look, because we've come a long way. Just like the production industry has, where they've moved post-production into pre-production, which has made acting a little easier and a lot faster, like the production of the movie or television show a lot faster, because now people know where to move and you don't have to correct for things as much. It's similar here, right? By virtualizing everything, I'm guessing when the installers come in, they're like looking at this video going, okay, that's exactly where this goes. Okay, now I know exactly where to cut the hole for those monitors to rise out of the desk and so on and so forth. I'm sure there's mechanical drawings, but at the same time, they know they're doing it right. They know they're getting the angles right, thanks to Dave's work ahead of time. So this is really cool. Go ahead, Dave.
To this job, you've run into infrastructure impacts, and that your architectural drawings did not capture, so you can't put objects in the places that you were hoping to put them. So in this program, you're able to quickly jump in and move them to more realistic places and test to make sure camera angles and viewing angles are still accurate.
Yeah. And that even comes into play when even let's say just putting in a power port connectors on the table, and you realize now you don't have power in that side of the room. You can't actually do that, right? As well as the mechanical properties of the room itself, like even visualizing, okay, we're going to put a table and chairs here, but we can't push that chair far enough for someone to actually get out of that table. So it looks good conceptually, but it actually won't operate. So I think that's some of the benefits here, and it is new for our industry. So I appreciate y'all coming in and showing this. I want to show some final drawings. I want to show some final images of the room so you get an idea what the final product looked like, since you saw those that virtual fly through. And we don't have video of what the room looks like, but we do have pictures, and you're looking at them now. And you can kind of see the different angles, see what the final product looked like. And you should go back and compare it to the video. It's remarkably similar, thanks to you, Dave. You're a gift to AVI SPL. So congratulations on this. And Stephen, I appreciate you being willing to do this. And maybe one day the client will let us tell everyone who they are. But in the meantime, if you want to follow Stephen Mason on LinkedIn, go to Stephen Mason. Just search Stephen Mason, you'll find him. And of course, you can follow Dave Lamb as well. Guys, I appreciate you joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching this special edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. I hope you enjoyed this, because I want to feature more projects like this. I want to feature unique projects like this. So if you have other projects, any of you watching have projects you think that we should feature, just contact me at gary@rAVeagency.com. Thanks for watching.
With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves.